Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel.
You enjoyed my video. I hope that you like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. See you until next time. Bye. Welcome back to my channel. For those who are new to my channel, I'm Yatha Ketkar, and in today's video, we will dive deep into Python file handling. We will learn how to read, write, and append text files using a Python file. In order to complete this process, we will require two files, a txt file and a Python file. The txt file is the target file. We can type anything on this file and for example, hi, my name is Yatharth, and this text can be read, rewritten, and appended. So before we continue with the video and the hard examples, I would like to explain what these three things mean. Write means that we overwrite all the content in the txt file and write what is written in the Python file by us. In read, we just print whatever is there in the txt file on the Python file in the terminal or the result space. And in append, we do not overwrite anything which is there on the txt file. Instead, we just add the text which we want again using Python. Now this is really important because if we ever want to change a value in the txt file from the Python file in case of a condition change, then we can use this exact method to do so. The name of the txt file does not matter. We can use any file as long as we provide the Python file the correct target. So now without any further delays, let's begin with the first part of Python file handling. In the first part, we will read the text file. Firstly, I'll quickly type the code and I'll explain it line by line to you afterward. Great. So I've written the code and now I will explain it line by line to you people. So the first line is declaring a variable, and this variable is opening our target txt file. The comma, which is present after the file part, uh, which has the R after it, is actually meaning read. R stands for read, W stands for write, and A stands for append. Although there are 5 to 6 different types of Python file handling, but we will only discuss 3 of them, which I've earlier mentioned in the video. So this line, the first line, opens the file in a variable called file. As the file as the file's contents are getting stored in the file variable, we can read them using the second line's variable, which is read. Now what this variable does is that it looks and reads the file and stores the file's contents in its variable. This process is possible due to the little command file.read open bracket close bracket. Later, on the third line, we just have to print the variable content, which contains the read content. And after that, on the fifth line, we will have to close the file using the command file.close. Now I have explained to you all the file lines of this program, but there is one small thing which you have to keep in mind, that in Windows you will have to use backslashes, not forward slashes. But on different operating systems you can use different slashes, different types of slashes. It also depends upon the IDE you use for writing your code. So if I ran this code, it would show me an error since I had not written backslashes. I had written forward slashes on a Windows computer. So now let's run this code and look at the magic what happened. Yes, the designated output has been seen. You remember what was there on the python.txt file? Hi, my name is Yatharth. The exact same thing has been printed over here on the terminal. But of course, we cannot change this text over here. We cannot overwrite it, we cannot append it or do anything with it. It's just printed over there. So now let's learn how to write. Basically, overwrite the txt file. I will quickly paste the code and then again I will explain the code line by line to you people. I hope you're enjoying the video till this point. Now, as you can observe, the code has majorly changed. Instead of us declaring a variable and opening the entire file inside one variable, we are opening it with open inside which we have created a bracket inside where we have given the paths of the file, comma, the initial of what we want to do and we want to write. Thus, the initial is W. We are opening all this stuff as file, just file. But please note, this is not a variable. It is just opening as file. And as you can observe, under this line, the second line, we have written file.write. This will overwrite the previous content. So firstly, I will have to change the path of the file for it to run. I have written example.txt as this might work for few people if they use the correct IDE. Please keep in mind to change these slashes if required. This differs from operating system to operating system and IDE to IDE. Just reminding you. And now I have ran the file. Of course, you would not see any difference on the terminal of this Python file. This is because we are not telling our Python file to edit it and print it on this terminal. So for this, we will have to go to our txt file, and as you can observe, the text has been totally overwritten, and now it shows this will overwrite the previous content, which is what we wrote in our Python. Now we can observe all this with the write mode. Now let us continue with the append mode. So the write mode and the append mode do not have much of difference. We only have to change the initial after the file path, which is W to A. Now we just have to run this file, but before we run it, let's just go and change the uh, content in our txt file, the text file. Save the txt file and then run the and again, just like the write mode, we would not see any difference on our Python terminal. So we will go to our txt file and now we can observe the addition of the line which we have written in our Python file, which is this will overwrite previous content. These were the three types of Python file handling which we covered in this video. Now there are many other. For example, we can write the Python file and print the new data on our Python terminal. For that, there's a function. Similarly, there are other mix and matches with read, write, and append being played. For their initials, we will just have to take two different initials. For example, if you want to read and append, then we can take R and A. For read and write, it will be R and W, but the base is similar. You enjoyed my video. I hope that you like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. See you until next time.